Welcome to Tea Time with Dolly. Okay, today I'm going to make some chickpea patties. I think that you'll really like them. So I will get started. I've measured out my ingredients ahead of time just to save time. This is 1 cup of oats. And then we need 1 cup of walnuts, but we want to grind them up very fine. So I'll put those in the food processor. Okay, so they're ground up very fine. And then we need 1 can of chickpeas, also called garbanzo beans. Okay, I'm going to drain some of the liquid off, not all of it, but some off. And then we will grind these up to so they'll be smooth for the recipe. Oh, also need 2 cloves of garlic. And I'm just going to put these in here with that. And for some of you that's not used to cooking with garlic, these little things are the cloves. This is called a bulb. So if a recipe calls for a clove, which I know how many of you cooks that use garlic a lot know this, but for the ones that's new at it, this is the bulb, and you don't want the whole thing if it calls for a clove. You just peel off a little, they come off in little sections. So that's your clove, and this is the bulb. Because if you used a whole bulb, it would be very strong. So, and each little clove has to be, they need to be peeled too, and I've already done that to save time. So I will just blend that right in there with that. Put this in with the oats and the nuts. Okay, see, next we need 1 cup of onions. When I get onions at the store, I buy a bag of them, and then when I need a recipe for some onions, or if I want some slices of onions for a sandwich, I just take the rest and chop it up, freeze it, and then I have the onions when I need them. And then the onions don't go bad either. And I need a teaspoon of salt. And a teaspoon of sage. If you want your onions chopped finer than this, mine's just chopped, you can always put those in the food processor too. And okay, it calls for fresh parsley, which I like, but I don't have any right now, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this parsley in out of the, it's already ground up, dried. It works. And then now we need a tablespoon of soy sauce. just mash it or blend it all together. Just take a minute here and blend it. If it's too dry, just add a little more of your liquid. If it's not dry enough to make into patties, just add a little bit more oats, and that should take care of it. I'm going to add just a little bit more liquid. You want it like the consistency of, like you'd have meatloaf or hamburger or something. Just where you can form it into patties. Okay, I'm going to put some oil in the skillet and get it ready for my patties. Just mix it up real good here. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands. I washed them before I started, but I'll wash them again before I make the patties. It's getting warm. I just put some oil in the skillet. It's getting hot now. So you just make a little ball of stuff. And you just form it into a patty. And you put it in the oil. These should make about 8 good-sized patties. If you want more, if you want them smaller, you can, then you'll probably make more. I usually get about 8 out of a recipe. Rinse that stuff off my hands. Okay, they're in the skillet. I'll show you a little bit what they look like. So they're in here. We'll take a few minutes to fry them. And then of course after they cook a little bit, then I turn them over. Sometimes I turn them 2 or 3 times just to keep it browning even, cooking all the way through. And they're pretty simple to make. And they're very good protein because nuts have protein, the oats have protein, and the chickpeas have protein. So they're really good replacer for meat. Probably would save you a little money if buying meat. Of course, I don't know, nuts are pretty expensive too, but it only takes a cup of them. But they're really good. People that like meat also like these. And if you're vegetarian, of course they're vegetarian, and they're also vegan. There's no animal products in them. So they're very tasty too. Flip this over here real quick. Oh, and then when I turn them, I kind of press down a little bit on the spatula. Flattens them down a little bit. But I think even if you're a meat eater, meat lover or whatever, I think you'll still like these. They're good to put, I like them with mashed potatoes and gravy, just like you would meat. Also, they make good sandwiches, or just to put them on a plate and put some ketchup on them and eat them like that. Or any, just any way you want to eat them, they're very good. I'll let these fry just a little bit, and Hope you're having a good day today. It's kind of gloomy here, kind of overcast. But then I guess that's the way the weather is in fall in the Midwest quite often. So next summer we'll see a lot of sunshine again. We've only got several months to wait, don't we? Or maybe you're in a place where it's warm and sunshine year round. I want to flip them over again. You hear them sizzling, they're cooking. They don't take too long to cook, but I want to make sure they're golden brown. You probably don't have to flip them over this often. I do, but probably one time is actually enough. I just like to, for some reason I keep thinking that food cooks more thoroughly, clear through to the middle if you flip them over different times, but you probably don't have to do that. And I'm not the greatest cook, so I tend to burn things easy if I leave it on one side too long. Okay, I think this one's done enough to show you now. Let's set these off now. Okay, here's what the finished product looks like. Doesn't that look good? You just eat it however you want to. Thank you very much for watching my show. I hope you'll check me out again. Tea Time with Dolly, and hit like.